Shaar of Parak Yud, and the discussion was actually a fascinating discussion that he brings. The Machlekes Rishonim, clear Machlekes Rishonim is actually Machlekes the Rambam and the Ramban, whether Malachim are greater or whether people are greater. The Rambam says Meforish in the Yad, and he extensively in Mar Nevuchim, that Malachim are greater than people, and you can't even compare the two. Which is a little bit ironic because the Rambam wasn't that into Malachim altogether in the way we understand them. But nevertheless, he says that a Malach is clearly a spiritual being, and an Adam is a physical being, maybe has a spiritual aspect to it. So how could you compare something which is completely spiritual to something which is like us, fleishiks? You have to eat, we have to drink, we have to sleep, we have to do all kinds of things. We have taivas, we have Yetzer Hara. How can you possibly compare them? The Ramban disagrees, and he says that the Rambam is in, I believe, Parak Gimel of Yesodei Torah Halacha Tes. The Ramban, I would say, violently disagrees, and he says that the Adam is, the Ravid is also in a couple of places, but the Ravid says that Vayipach Ba'apav Nishmas Chayim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu took the Yitzir Kappa, the Bechir Shebabriya, like the chosen Bria, and basically skipped through all of those drachim and all of those malachim and all of those channels and rivers and streams, and came straight to us. Vayipach Ba'apav. It was like an automatic, a real connection, a serious connection, the closest connection possible between, even between Adam and Adam, but whatever it means, between Hashem and Adam is Vayipach Ba'apav Nishmas Chaim, actually blew into our nostrils the neshama. So the Ramban says that how could you say that malachim are bigger? No, there's no such thing as a malach or a tree or a squirrel that HaKadosh Baruch Hu breathed into his nostrils. He didn't breathe into the nostrils of the world. He breathed into the nostrils of Adam. So Adam and the Shalag Hadosh, the Shaar Asaras HaMamaris, Asar Mamaris rather. I think it's in Kehillat Parak Beis of Asar Mamaris. The Shalah is Myrichanus. He brings the Machlekes Rishonim. It's a beautiful Shalah. It reads like a Reb Chaim Brisker. The Rambam. He brings the Rambam and he brings the other ones that argue with the Rambam, but he brings what he considers to be a Shaar, which is not that different from what we are learning now. Reb Chaim Volozhin. That's the background I want to go to because I just want to go further. But that's the Machlekes, and the Nefesh Hachaim wants to say Elu ve'elu divrei Elokim Chayim. It is meaning very simply in a certain way. Malachim are bigger, a certain way people are bigger. And I'm just taking my own words. It depends how you define bigger. What does bigger mean? Bigger in what? bigger in what? Bigger in size, bigger in spirituality, bigger in
This is the spot that's in Parshas Noach.
That's right. With all of our historians, you see, I want to make a radical statement that hopefully by the time we finish learning today won't be radical, it'll be Pashut Pshat. That we tend to think that here we are in this world, and the less gashmius we have, the less we're surrounded with in the world of gashmius, downsize our car, we downsize our house, we downsize our clothing and our food, our diet, that the less gashmi we are, the more ruchni we are, and therefore we become a greater person, which of course has a lot of truth to it, because gashmius can really bring you down. It really can bring you down. However, and this is a radical statement, if you understand this correctly, you'll understand that if you understand it correctly and if you do it correctly, so then you find out that, on the contrary, HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave the Torah to Basar V'Dam. Could have given it to Malachim. He gave it to Basar V'Dam. And because we're Gashmi, so then the logic would follow to say that the more Gashmi we are, or Gishmi as it's probably correctly pronounced, the more Gishmi we are, the bigger we are. If we're using it as a keli for ruchnius. So what's important to understand is that it's a low madrega ladati to have to shun the Gashmias in your life. I'm not saying somebody's trying to get what they don't have. You have what Hashem gives you. You have, appreciation like mother runs beside, that can be dangerous. But what I'm saying is that what we do have, like the Rambam says, that a person should live not below their means, not above their means, should live according to their means. It's important, It's not nice to see somebody who lives above their means, and it's equally not nice to see somebody who lives below their means. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're a rich man. Why are you living like that? So the Rambam says you live according to your means. Figure out what your means are. Go to your accountant or to read somebody in a book on budgeting or something, and live according to your means. But what's the Obek HaDavar? The Obek HaDavar is that the means that I have is my derech in avodas Hashem. That's the means that I have. So if a Kadosh Baruch Hu gave me X amount of strength, so what am I going to do? Let myself get weak? That doesn't make not eat, let myself get weak. You have the strength to be able to do whatever it is that you need to do. So, what it comes out, what's going to come out, I believe, we could repeat the sentence at the end and see if I'm right. Is that on the contrary, the more gashmi a person is, the more your potential for avodas Hashem, and hence the greater you become over a malach, because this is really. One of the only things we have over a malach is that we have gashmius. What else do we have? The Rambam says if you're measuring ruchnius, then we don't compete. If you're measuring gashmius, then we've got one up on the malach. It's mashma. The gashmius is a mila.
In Pirkei Avos we say pasbanat tachel mayim b'amsor tishlu. It sounds like to be mamayit what we have, just a simple piece of bread with salt, not.
Kachidar kishal Torah. So let's get to that. Kachidar kishal Torah. So let's learn a couple of the sources inside. Omnam b'davar echad yisrael gadol la'adam me'amalachim. Shaar Aleph Perek Yud. Third paragraph in my book. Omnam b'davar echad. There's only one thing. Yisrael gadol la'adam me'amalachim v'hu ha'loas v'hiskashrus ha'ilabais v'ha'koichais v'ha'oirais echad b'chaveroi. Asher zeh eid b'koyach klal l'shuv balach. There's only one thing, one and only one thing, so I'm going to explain to you this is not different than what I just said, because it's all the same one thing. There's only one thing that Adam has over malach, and that is the ability of hiskashrus. Hiskashrus. Hiskashrus,
it comes together.
it's hard to know what it really means. We know what it means. It means to tie everything up, tie everything together. Let's tie it all together. That's a very vague term, But when I took my executive job at the Orthodox Union, I said, "What's my job?" They said, "Tie everything together." Okay. It told me nothing.
Give me a shoelace.
What?
Give me a
What
shoelace.
does it mean? I don't know. Who's everything? What's everything? What does it mean? But the Adam is the one big thing that you could tie it all together. You could do this kashrut of the oilabais. So let's not worry about what it means for a second, just a second. But let's just read the words that a person could do this, whatever this kashrut means, and a malach cannot. V'hu ha'alos. What does it mean? Ha'alos, elevating. Hiskashrus, tying together. Ha'ilabais. Koichais v'ha'orais echad b'chaverai. You're not tying it all together per se. You're doing this as a sophisticated knot because you're tying this world to the world on top of it, to the world on top of that, to the world on top of that. So it's not really tying it all together. The correct word is connecting. We're connecting the world. That's what an Adam has to do. Know that was our job. That's our job. Our job is connecting worlds. The only reason, in fact, that not only is it the only one-up that we have on Malachim, but it's really the only reason we're created. Asher zeid b'koyach klal l'shum malach. So let me just try to explain this. First of my words, and Reb Chaim Volozhin. Olamais, first of all. There are 4 olamais that the Nefesh Hachaim told us about. Arizal. There's 4 olamais: the world of Atzilus, the world of Bria, the world of Yitzir, the world of Asiyah. I certainly don't understand it, but what we can understand is that everything that Hashem creates on a regular basis is created on a very spiritual level. And like an assembly line, everything that Hashem creates, right, your car, so it's created on a spiritual level, whatever that is. Then it gets some form, maybe like an architect would draw something up, it gets some form, then Yetzirah, that it actually gets created, then Asiyah, that it comes into our world. So imagine an assembly line, we're not going this way, from Shemayim to Aretz, an assembly line, how everything that we have, everything that's in our possession, including us ourselves, are being created and recreated every single second, from Atzilus to Bria to Yetzirah to Asiyah. The Chiddush is this, that not only do things go from Atzilus, Bria, Yetzirah, Asiyah on this assembly line, but it also goes up. Asiyah, Bria, Asiyah, Yetzirah, Bria, Atzilus. Abiyah, and then backwards. What does that mean? It means that it's not really that Hashem is just creating everything, but there's actually a circle going on here. There's a circle in creation, a circle and a cycle. Like imagine, as I always say, imagine the rain cycle. So the rain cycle, so clouds burst, water falls on the ground, nurtures the ground. Water evaporates, goes up to the cloud comes down. So there's a cycle there. If you mess up the stuff in the between, you get acid rain, you get bad things. But there's a rain cycle. If it doesn't rain for a long time, al pi teva, that aggravates the situation of no rain, because the less rain, right? Because you don't have anything evaporating, a rain cycle. And, alchemists and even scientists through the years have tried to make it rain. Try to evaporate huge amounts of water, things like that to try to make it rain. Nothing seemed to work because this was beyond Hashem, how much it rains. But it's a cycle. So like that cycle is the same thing in Ruchnius, that Hashem creates and recreates every second. That's true. He's the creator. What does he use? What is the raw material of what he creates? So the answer is Arbaisim, going the other way up. Asiyah, Bria, Yetzirah, Bria, Atzilus. Just to put it in a way we can understand a little bit, if we talk Divrei Torah or we do a mitzvah, so we are evaporating into the Shamayim, something very, very special, something very, very holy. It goes and it becomes more spiritual like the rain, and then finally gets up into Shamayim. Kadosh Baruch Hu uses that to create the world that we live in, and hence the world becomes a better world. Let's say we talk Lashon Hara, so now we're polluting the cycle, and now could come Charbon. So it's when the Gemara says things like there's millions of Gemaras, but when the Gemara says things like because of Sinas Chinam, the Beis Hamikdash was destroyed, Bayesheni was destroyed, you can understand it on a political level. The political level is like this, everybody was hating each other, was killing each other. Of course the Romans had an entree into the Beis Hamikdash because there was politics. Nobody could agree in Jerusalem what to do about the Romans. But that's not the way Chazal meant it, I don't think. What Chazal meant was that you're evaporating a negative energy into the Shamayim, and as Nefesh Hachaim explains it now, what's coming down in the Bria of the Beis Hamikdash every second. So it was Kim Chatocha Tachanta, Soilas Techa Tachanta, different Lashonis. The Gemara, it was already a straw house. It didn't have the Beis Hamikdash didn't have any substance, because what's its chober, what's its spiritual creation? Mashmois of all this is that everything that we have in this world has a spiritual aspect to it. It could be positive and it could be negative. And all of this climbing around the circle is done by Malachim, presumably. It's all done by Malachim. But what's really happening over here is just we're saying something or doing something. Ubekab l'dein v'dein, and the Malachim, as Yechezkel said, take our words, take our Baisim, and they bring it one and give it to the other until it gets to the Shemayim, and then other Malachim are coming down. And this was, by the way, the Nevuah of Yaakov Avinu by the Sulam Malach Elikim Oilin v'Yardim Boy. Busy. Like, if you see what's really going on, which we don't really see, we just think of it as, okay, so I talked, so I said something, so it's a big deal, I said something, But it is a big deal when all of a sudden Yaakov Avinu had, similar to if we would all of a sudden be privy to see all of the microwaves and telephone waves and everything in the air right now. We'd go crazy with that kind of a thing. If you'd see everything that's flying around here, thank God, pretty clear vision between me and you, right? Can you imagine? And then not to mention if you would see like germs and amoebas and all kinds of things, like we would not be able to last in such a thing. This has to be, Kal v'chomer, if we would see the malachim, coming out of our mouth and coming down into our food. So Hashem b'chastai, what do they call that in the computer words? Made those invisible symbols. They like you don't see all those things on the page.
Codes.
Right? We have a nice clean view, but an inaccurate view of what's really going on and decoding it in the malachim that's going on all around. So that's what's important to understand. So are we bigger than malachim? Of course we're bigger than malachim. Why? Because we're actually at a place in the circle which is in control of everything that's happening, because it all comes down to the Monsey. Yes, it's a circle, and every malach could be. They're actually more spiritual than we are. But the point is that HaKadosh Baruch Hu put us here in this world for a reason, and He dafka decided to give the Torah to people that have a goof, and people that have a taivas basar, and people that need to get married, and people that need to do all kinds of things. He dafka chose the Torah. Why? Because we're at the lowest part of the circle. That's where He wants to be. Whatever that means. That's Malchus. Malchus is that I can permeate the lowest part. So it comes out, ironically, that the lowest part of this whole diagram is where the action is. This is what goes around comes around, right? So what we're putting up, yes, we're putting all these spiritual malachim to work, and the malachim are coming down. Malach Elokim oilim v'yardim boy, but the ikar is what's ending up over here, what starts here and what ends up over here, which is, by the way, why Yaakov Avinu in his Nevuah saw the malachim oilim v'yardim boy. Everybody asked the kasha, malachim are Shemayim, they should be yardim v'oilim boy. Why they oilim v'yardim boy? And the pshat is that it starts with us. It starts with our Maisa. Even HaKadosh Baruch Hu is only recreating the world according to what we do and according to what the world deserves, because that's what He did when He gave us Bechir Chavshis. That's what He did. In other words, if we're not choosing to be Ki Lashem Hamlucha U'Moshel B'Goyim. Hashem wants a malucha. Malucha means people vote and decide how they want their world to be. A Memshala means there's a dictator that's over us. That's a Moshel. A Moshel is a dictator. This is the way you're going to do it. Hashem doesn't want to be. That's B'Goyim. Hashem Hamlucha. Moshel B'Goyim. Okay, by Goyim, by trees, by everything. Like Kadosh Baruch Hu is just saying what to do, because that's going down. But Hashem Hamalucha is going up. That's what's going up. And Hashem, by the way, is of course the Midas Harachamim, the Midah of Hashgacha Pratis, is Yudkei Vavkei. Ki Lashem Hamalucha, the Malchus Hashem, Malchus Hashem, Ein Melech B'Loyam, Ein Melech B'Loyam. So that's what we have to understand is the Maila of the Gashmius that we have.
When a Malach speaks, is it the word of Hashem speaking through the Malach, or he has his own free will, so to speak? Or
Who said Malachim speak? Koach HaDibur is by Adam.
By the Akedah, it stopped.
Sing.
No, what about by when stone was being destroyed? One of the Malachim got punished because he said something he shouldn't have said.
Okay, so that's a Malach that was mislavish as an Adam. So Hashem gave it a temporary Koach HaDibur. But it's like, I don't know the answer, but I understand that, but just Moshe Rabbeinu came to Har Sinai. Everybody knows the Gemara Menachos that the Malach Shaar said, "Bali Yuladisha B'nei." This is, like I said last week, this is an exclusive place here. What's this human doing here? Bali Yuladisha B'nei, right? Like he's a Jew. What's he doing here? And Moshe Rabbeinu said, Hashem said to Moshe Rabbeinu, "Hachzir lehem tshuva," and the tshuva was an interesting tshuva. Like, do you have parents that you could be Mekayim Kibbut Avei? Do you need money that you would steal something that you need there to say Lo Signov? Klum Yesh Liyuv B'Malachim? Are there affairs going on here? We Earthlings are the ones that can come up with like the West Side Story. Like, this is not for Malachim, but it was Malachim. And that was a good tshuva. Meaning, what was the conversation? The conversation was the Malachim saying, look, we're higher than you. We're higher than you. So Moshe Rabbeinu saying, yes, you're higher than me. Look where you are. I have to go into the Choshech and to the Yolan and to the Arafel till I get to the Malachim, to the Oilam HaMalachim. Yes, you're higher than me, but I'm controlling you. With my Kibbut Aveim, I'm controlling you. So I'm one who's really calling the shots over here in this whole cycle. Dafka because, listen to Moshe Rabbeinu, Dafka because I have a Yetzer to steal. So when I don't steal, I'm doing an act of malchus, and I'm very, very strong.
You said something very deep because
Thank you.
Adam Arishon had no mother or father, so he couldn't have had the Torah at that time. Couldn't have had it. We had to have fallen.
One thing's for sure, you said something very deep. So let's just read a little bit more because I want to rush you a little bit. Hu b'tab hadal. Hamalach hu be'etzem koyach echad prati levad. A malach is a malach, a cog in the wheel. Spiritual device. Shein by klilas kol ha'elomis yachad. It does not contain within it other worlds. V'chein kasu be'etz chaim shar pnimius v'chitzonius reish drush yud sha'malach eino rak b'china prati shalois ha'elam shoyim midbar. Malachim, there's some malachim that work in the Atzilus department, in the Bria department, Yitzira and Asiya department. There's malachim all over the place. And there's malachim, like you said, which come very close to earth. Like the malachim that came to Avraham Avinu, or Elio and Novi. Elio malach habris, hinei shachol lefanecha. Right? Rabcha doime l'malach Hashem tzvakei. Sometimes your Rebbe has to be like a malach Hashem tzvakei. What does it mean? What does it mean? Avol nishmas ha'adam. When you talk about a neshama of a person, b'chol gimel ha'cholki naran shelo. A neshama has three parts. Nefesh, which is the closest to the world of his gashmius, the ruach, personality, let's say, in the neshama. All of them, hiklula mikol ha'ilabais, has within it atzilus, bria, yitzira, and asiya. It's selikt in the neshama, all of those worlds. Yet we need to understand, why does he need to do that? Why is it good enough to do hiskashrus ha'ilabais? Why do we have to be nichlal kol ha'ilabais? You hear by kasha? You can't ask a kasha like, why does it need to do it? Because that's the way it is. But why is this relevant over here? Enough that we have this ability to be makasher ha'ilabais. We're attaching one to the other. What do we have to be kollel ha'ilabais? L'chein eid b'koyach v'yicholos hamalach klal lahalois u'l'kasher l'yachid kol oila ba'oila ba'noto y'arishay. Because if the malach does not have within it the upper world, so how can it attach to it? Kivan sheinu kolol l'meshutaf mehem. See, I want to give an example. I hope it's okay to say this, but we make books on the side. So somebody wrote a book. A person wrote a book called "The Wisdom of Wealth." So, the wisdom of wealth. So so the artists come up with covers. 3 different artists, 3 different covers. Coins, big throne, rich guy. What's gonna be the So the fellow says, no, I want a picture of wisdom, not a picture of wealth. Okay. How do you depict wisdom? And then it occurred to me that the right picture here is, and I'm just saying it for our purposes here, that the right picture here is that if you look at the chart of the sephiros, so it starts off with Chachma Bina, Keser Chachma and Bina, and then it gets to this world of Chesed Gvura Tiferes, that's a Chayy Yisrael Malach, everyone's seen the chart. The Chachma, wisdom, is the highest. Chachma Bina, that's the highest. So if you'll have, I'm just putting this as a visual to you, if you'll have Chachma and Bina elusively at the top of the picture and gold coins on the bottom of the picture, hence you have the whole cycle of the wisdom of wealth. In other words, taking the Chachma of HaKadosh Baruch Hu and bringing it into the world of Gashmias. You'll see whether that ends up on the cover or not. But it's the concept is that what we need to do is be makasher olamais on one hand, like meaning use our money for good. Kadosh Baruch Hu gives us money because we're using our money for good, hence the circle. But it's something deeper than that. Somehow or another, in this gold coin lies all of the olamais. In other words, HaKadosh Baruch Hu took everything, and it all manifested itself in a coin. Now you can look at a gold coin and say, well, that's the opposite of everything that's going on up in Shamayim Nefesh. No. So all of the world is Nichlal. That's the Soid HaKlolos, as the Arizal calls it. The Soid HaKlolos is that the Adam, and even down further into Gashmias, is Kollel HaKol. It's Davar Kadosh, which is why we should understand how Yaakov Avinu was Chayzer al Pachim Ketanim. And how, how tzaddikim, the Gemara says, are always Baal al Mamoinam. Tzaddikim are like, they're cheapskates in the sense that they understand the Kedusha of everything. Not because just the Spittle Torah, how am I going to get more money, but the tzaddikim understand that this was here for a purpose. It was given me for a purpose. Now it's up to me, the Adam, to choose how am I going to use the gold coin. Am I going to be malad back? But the golder the coin, the better. The more gashmius, the better. So that's the side of hiskalulus, that this everything is here in this gold coin. Depends on what I'm going to do with it. So the same thing is, who's making the malachim be ma'ala, taking things mekablim dain min dain. Ain't totally by bats when a malach can't move. L'chein nikraim ha-malachim oimdim. A malach is an omed. Moshe Kosov, Srofim Omdim, Yeshayahu. Nasati l'cha machalchim bein ha'oimdim ha'ela in Zechariah. Omdim. Raka Adam levad hu amalav amakashir amiyached asay lamayz va'oiris b'koyach ma'asav. It's only an Adam that can lift the malachim. Just like we can lift the coin. We can lift the malachim. We can make the whole bria different. Machmas, why? Shu kolul mikulam. Because everything is with the Adam. V'gam Adam. Was gam hamalach masig aliyah v'toisefes kedusha al kedusha say. Wow, the Adam is pushing us up, the malachim say. Look, we're going up. Why are we going up? Because the Adam is doing something good. Why is good stuff coming down? Because we're pushing it from this end. That's the Gewalt. Neshigam hu kolul b'ha'adam. I want to just take 5 minutes. If you look at the Nefesh Hachaim in Pirkei Avos, Ruach Chaim, in Parak Beis, I just want to learn with you a drop of this because he's masber here when he's not masber there. In Parak Beis, Parak Aleph Mishnah Beis, Al Shloisha Dvarim Ha'olam Oimed. World stands on three things. Think about the words now. Al Shloisha Dvarim Ha'olam Oimed. Al HaTorah V'al Avodah V'al Gmilas Chasad. So this says Reb Chaim Volozhin.
As opposed to moving? As opposed to moving on
Omed? No, as opposed to something being the foundation of the world. This is the world's foundation. This is what's holding the world. This is what's holding the world. So he explains as follows. Ratzal Eimer. It says in the pasuk, Imlai Brisi Chuka Shemayim V'Aretz. I'm sorry, Imlai Brisi Chuka Shemayim V'Aretz Lo Sam. Shemayim V'Aretz B'Yachad Lo Hayu Mischabrim Ilulei HaTorah. You want to connect the heaven to the earth. Isn't that what Nevuah is all about? Connecting the heaven to the earth. Isn't that what Tefillah is all about? Connecting to the heaven to the earth. That's what Torah is all about. Connecting the heaven to the earth.
Beis Hamikdash.
Beis Hamikdash, Karbanos, connecting the heaven to the earth. But they're going, here's the thing, going in different directions. Because whereas, let's say, Torah is coming from the Shabayim to the Aretz, and Nevuah is coming from the Shabayim to the Aretz. I'm going to speak through Moshe Rabbeinu. But Karbanos are going from down to up. And Tefillah, which is Keneged Karbanos, is also going from down to up. So you see the cycle? Here, something that's not everything. Yes, it's all being Machaber Shamayim V'Aretz. That's true. But it's Machaber at two different sides of the circle. So he says, Ilulei HaTorah ki hashpa yeredes hakol al yidei hiskashrus. That the Torah comes down. Remember, Gimel Dvar about Olam Oived. Al Torah, Al Avodah. Let's talk about the two things first. Torah, Avodah. Torah coming down. Avodah means what? Karbanos, going up. Torah and Avodah. So he's medayik that we're taking two different aspects here, two different sides of the circle, and that's what the Mishnah is talking about. On the one hand, Ilule HaTorah ki hashba yoredes hakol al yedei his kashrus ve'eid yala min ha'aretz, it says in Bereshis, and then it evaporates up, exactly like I'm saying with the rain cycle. Ulamatar hashabayim tishtem mayim. He brings a number of chazals, but this is Abra Chazal. Eilucha esev ba'aretz, famous chazal. Eilucha esev ba'aretz eiloi balach barakia ba'keyu va'oiber loi gadel. There's no such thing as a blade of grass that doesn't have for it a malach, which is hitting it and telling it to grow. I don't know why it has to hit it. It's a good, grass doesn't hear. So, huh? The Malachim don't speak. There's only one language around here.
The Malach hits us when we're
Also hitting us, yeah. Malach Hamavas, Hika Kol B'chor B'Aretz Mitzrayim. Yeah. So the Malach is not saying, well, it does say, Malach Berkiyah Ba'keyu V'oiber Loi Gadol.
Which means to go.
That means what? He talks. Plus the language that he uses is it. Ki agashmi is so okay. It's a beautiful spiritual, chazal. The grass, we could, if you lived, 30, 40 years ago, you take some LSD and you could see the malachim hitting the grass and they saying grow. So you get to see this, right? Ki agashmius ba'atzmo, gashmius unto itself, the grass, ein lo koach u'metzias klal. There's no koach. Look, didn't we just learn in Rashi and Bereshis that HaKadosh Baruch Hu didn't bring rain into the world to make the trees and grass grow until he created Adam. Why? Because nothing is being mania the circle. Nothing is making everything work. That's the pshat. Empty, dead, no battery. So something has to come from Shemayim. In this case, it's a malach, that's the lowest level, which is beating the grass. Where does this malach get its koach from that's beating the grass? From a malach on top of it, and maybe millions, I don't know, of malachim. Ugavaya me'al gavaya, ugavaya me'al gavayim aleim ad Torahsenu HaKedosha. The highest level on this whole chart is Torah. That's as high as we go. When I said before that the chart starts with Chachma and Bina, that's Torah. Keser, Chachma, Bina. It's not God. Hashem is higher than that. The highest that we go in the circle is Chachma and Bina. Torah. That's Torah, Chachma and Bina. So all the Malachim can just go until Torah. Ki mimenu taitzais chaim mimenu yotzim kol hashbois eitz chaim hi. He cut mala'ilam. That's the pshat, and Torah came before the world. So everything is coming out of Torah. We need to understand that. We say the Torah is takil baraisa baralma. Torah is a blueprint. So it's the koach of Torah. Umiyes hayrid Moshe oiz mibitcha la'aretz. Now Moshe Rabbeinu came and he pulled off an unbelievable thing. He didn't say like some guru in India claims to say, I spoke to a malach. Or even some of our, Nevi'im spoke to a malach. No. I went to the highest place possible. Surpassed the malachim, surpassed everything to the highest place possible until Hashem. Couldn't go any further. Already knows Panecha, already knows Koitchana. You went far enough. But you could go until the Torah. So you can go until the Torah, and now Moshe Rabbeinu is where is he standing on this chart? He's Labala Bila Malachim. He's higher. To be Ace Harid Moshe. Now he takes the Torah, grabs it from its highest place, and brings it down to us. And you can understand why the Malachim were offended by this. What does he do? V'hila ba'ala b'kula, v'be'ez harid Moshe oiz v'bitcha l'oretz, v'Yisrael zachu oisa, u'tvekim ba, hile ima b'kor chai, b'kor brachas shefa b'yadav. So now all of a sudden we stole the code. We have the everything. Hare kasher oilam el yoy b'tachtay. So here he explains what the yisoid of his kashrus is. We have now, by keeping the Torah, by getting the Torah and keeping the Torah, being mistabek in the Torah. So what do we have? Atem advekim b'Hashem Elokeichem. El Chaim kulchem ayoy. So there's a dvekus here. In HaKadosh Baruch Hu ba'atzvay, ha'idei ha'Torah gvula b'kulon, u'keleged kesher zeh, shenikshu da'aydu sharidu akdush ha'la'aretz. So that's the pshat in bringing what's all the way in Shamayim down to Aretz, skipping the Malachim. Now, tzarech lahalos midvarim shalamata l'malo. Now comes a new task. The circle is only halfway done. Now how do we get it to go from down to up? Midvarim shalamata l'malo, v'hu al yidei ha'korban. So that's what a carbon is. Shemakriven lasos nachas ruach lamisha amar v'naser v'tzaynai. Samayla hamadaber tzemeach. Right? You're taking all those gashmias things and you're being reach nichoyach la'Hashem. The symbolism is fantastic. You're taking the gashmias and pushing the circle, pushing the malachim. Imagine them as balls in a circle. You're pushing them around and bringing something better into this world, hence making the world a better world. You're bringing them mimata lamala mishafal matzavim, from a very gashmiistic place, an makam gavaya, ad sheyiskablu l'ratzin lifnei Hashem, until Hashem is makabel, the korban, v'yiskashu mala b'mkayrim ha'elyin l'hayrid lanu bracha, so this is exactly the cycle that we're describing, which Nefesh Hachaim doesn't describe it as well. Nefesh Hachaim, he's somewhat apparently on what he wrote in the Ruach Chaim. So what's happening is now we're taking this carbon, we're bringing the Gashmias here, bringing down a better level of bracha into our world. And by the way, it's not only our world, the whole world. It's not just in our lives. It's the whole world becomes a better place to live in. The Shefara. You see what's coming down from Shamayim. You say it's Min HaShamayim, but Min HaShamayim is really Min HaAretz. So what's coming down from Shamayim is a reflection. Like, do you understand that? Like, everybody I'm not political. I'm just giving an example. But everyone's complaining, like, "Oi Trump, oi Clinton, oi Trump, oi Clinton." They're nothing but a reflection of the people of the United States of America.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah, they voted for it.
They voted for him. Who told you to put them there? You know, who's like, oh, you dafsid anafshe. So the pshat is that what's happening mina shamayim is really mina aretz. Now, hopefully, God will take over here. Yeah, because it's or that will be the end of that empire. You know, there was a Babylonian empire, and a Roman empire, and an American empire. That could be also like this is what happened. This is what happened in the Roman Empire. Just
Fell apart.
Crumbled in front of everybody's eyes. After what was it? 900 years, 1,000 years. It just crumbled. Like, what happened to it? Where'd it go? So what we want is the bracha l'hayrid hashpa yoser b'shefer rav ayadei kishur zeh. V'hinei. Says the Reb Chaim Volozhin, finishes off. Nowadays, avodah hiraka tefillah. Okay, so we don't have karbanos anymore. B'makim zevach u'mincha. Ba'advar ma'imdim rumah shalaylam. V'chol teva v'teva oila l'makim gavoy. Now what's happening is we don't have karbanos through our tefillah. So every word of tefillah is going up as would be a korban. You understand, like Chazal, so fantastic. Chazal say tefillah is keneged korbanos. So we say, okay, just like you brought a korban tamid shel shachar, tamid shel mincha ben arbaim. So let's make a shachar. So, no, just like it's much deeper than that. Just like the korban gives off a reach nichayach, and you're taking gashmius and you're being malid into the shamayim, which is then going to transform into ruchnius, and once it's in ruchnius, HaKadosh Baruch Hu transforms into gashmius and brings it back down to this world as bracha. So the same thing happens with every word of tefillah. Everything. It was not for naught that kuf chav zekenim the Anshe Knesset Hagdol, 120 Zakenim, Mehem Kama Neviim Yistuha. This is the problem, like, you can't just change prayer. This is the Anshe Knesset Neviim. Halogami Enush Kerkenu Lo Yiflo Liyasid Bakoshas Kol Tzorkenu. So he asked the question, why do we need Neviim to make tefillah? Don't people know what they need? We know what we need. We know we need Rafeinu Hashem B'nei Rafei. We know we need Tshuva. So what do we need Neviim here for? Or Rafu is Chachluenu B'Loshen Limudim. Lama Tzarech Neviim. Achema Kivnu Ba. The answer is the Neviim participated in the following way. V'tiknu aloifen she'akol kollel ba v'chol ish Yisrael kol echem mispal k'fi havanaseh. They were able to come up with words that when every time somebody utters these words, they're saying really something different than, even though we're saying the same words, if we have kavana, we're saying something different. U'kloloi shel davar shemiyayim shenisakna, from the day, listen to this sentence, from the day that the Anshe Knesset Hagdolah created tefillah, there were never two tefillahs that were the same. Isn't that wild? You think you're davening like your great-grandfather? No. Every tefillah, including the one I said this morning, what I'm going to say this afternoon, every tefillah is different than the tefillah before. This depends on not just what I need, but it depends on the exact condition of the world at this moment and my kavanah, and what the cycle that we're talking about needs to be mala and to push the malachim around and get them to bring down bracha in this world. So the tefillah has to be, this is why the Shulchan Aruch says that if you're not, that you should always have to be mechadish davar b'tefillah. Chadish. The idea is that no two tefillahs are the same. It's how many different tefillahs could there be? But all in the same words yet.
So does that make tefillah more powerful than korbanos?
In a way. Well, maybe the carbon did all that, but there's certainly more involvement, right? Certainly more involvement. We're not yeah.
So when the korbanos come on?
Okay, he says, Ki b'shuna b'zeh tefillas hayom, tefillas esmol. Today's tefillah is different than yesterday's tefillah. Ki yavar, v'hakol totally b'tevoi seilut. Somehow or another, it all crawls into these words. V'lakach chutzrach nevuah l'zeh v'chol ha'kavonos v'asoido sheniskala ala tefillah ad hayom. Everything that we know about tefillah, you have a whole library of tefillah svarim, right? Eina ketipa miyam hagadol neged hakavona shehisig hakotten mikuf chav zkenim. It's only a tipa shebayam of what the Nevi'im and the Anshe Knesset Hagdolah were thinking. V'gam hagadol shebahem lehisig rak shebahem lehisig rak kifi erech avisharish nishmasei. Even the gadol shebahem, which is Nevi'im, didn't understand. They just had a b'nevuah. They're not going to understand, only we're going to understand. We have no understanding of it. It's higher than our understanding. Because here's the key words for our purposes. The idea is connectivity. That there can't be any break between this world and the upper world. It could be done through a carbon, could be done through a tefillah. How does Torah fit into this? It's the other side of the equation. Torah is coming down to us. That's what's raining Torah. Torah comes Griyas Olam, we just learned. So Torah is coming down. Like we speak to Hashem, Hashem speaks to us through Torah. We can get there. This will not change until Mashiach comes, and here we have a raya from Rabbi Chaim Volozhin. They hold that it will change when Mashiach comes. And how Shemon Esrei is going to change. What are we going to say to Kav Shofar Gadol Cherusenu when we already have Cherusenu? What do we say of Nei Yerushalayim? We already have Nei Yerushalayim. What are we going to say it for? So the Shemon Esrei will become, and plus nobody will get sick. So what do we have to ask for Shlaim? And plus everybody will be tzaddikim. So what do we have to ask Slach Lanu for? So what are we going to left with?
There'll be no Rishon.
Yeah. The first three...
The day of Mashiach, the day we're always dreaming about, when davening will take 3 minutes. What's there to daven? But
does the first three brachas always fit in, even when Mashiach comes? That's what it's going to be. That's
except that it says when Mashiach comes, so it won't be just Gimel Avos even. Okay, Avram, okay, Yisrael, okay, Yaakov. Lazeh Amar Gimel Dvar Olam Ratzleimer Olam Oimed Ratzleimer Kasher Olam BeOlam Tachtay. So the whole idea here is connectivity, ala Torah. And here I'm just going to end with this, and I'm going to finish it on Thursday. Shemayrid al yedei shefa milamala. This is what we need to understand. That the Torah, first thing is Torah. Torah is Mayrid al yedei shefa milamala. The al ha'avodah shemala nachas ruach mitachtain le'elyon. So what we're doing is we're completing a circle. How Gemilas Chasadim fits in, we didn't say it. The Achshav Ayidei Tefillah would be Al Yidei Avodah, which really means Karbanos, or Avodah Shebelev, which is instead of Karbanos, which is our
Could be Hitbo to do it also.
Tefillah. I don't know what Hisbodedus is. Hisbodedus means I'm connecting to myself. It doesn't mean I'm connecting to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Here we're talking about, this, meditation. B'chlal should not be, in my opinion, should not be confused with tefillah, because it doesn't. One thing has nothing to do with the other. The meditation, as I understand it, is a way of getting rid of klipos and getting closer to yourself and understanding who you are. And all of that stuff, but that's just to make yourself into a different kind of a kli. But that's not tefillah. Maybe in that state you can daven. That's what it's Hasidim Rishonim got into a state and then they davened. I'd love to know what they did, but I don't know what they did. But they got into this state and then they davened. But the tefillah is what suffice it for today to say the tefillah is going up and the Torah is coming down, and we are the main cog in the wheel, the main gear here, if you will, because we're the ones that are deciding. It's right here in Malchus Dafka that all the decisions are we're taking this and deciding, are we going to evaporate good or bad? And that's why, by the way, just to finish up, that's why Adam has Bechira Chavshis and no Malach can have Bechira Chavshis. It's impossible. Because if a Malach would have Bechira Chavshis, then they could change this along the assembly line. And that can't be. But who can change is us. We could be Macher the Beis HaMikdash, we could be Bona the Beis HaMikdash. We can make the trees grow. It says in the time of Hillel, the trees grew better fruit. He was evaporating kindness into the world because he was saying that, be nice to people. That was the whole Hillelian idea. It changed the whole world. It was Man Hillel. It was Man Beis HaMikdash. The payers were bigger. We were evaporating different kinds of stuff into the Shemaim, and therefore down was coming a different level of bracha. So when you see not bracha in the world, you got to look at what we're throwing up there. What goes up must come down, and hence you have the cycle. So this is only the beginning of this concept, which is probably, if I may say, the most important concept in the world, because what else is there to know except for what our function is over here? But that's the beginning, is to understand the two things: hiskashrus and hiskalulus. So far, what he explained was hiskashrus. Yeah.
In reaction to our tefillos, HaKadosh sends down bracha, Shema bracha, so it initiates downward. It comes up and back down. So by the Torah, which is if we on the guy the Torah, so then we send that back up. So they're both up and down. One initiates with us in tefillah, and then as a result, the Baruch
You mean Limud HaTorah?
Kehillat Torah.
Limud HaTorah might, but Limud HaTorah is not as much as Avodah.
Kehillat Torah.
Kehillat Torah means every mice that we're doing becomes spiritual.
Right. So
Bechira.
So in tefillah we initiated with Al Avodah Torah Al Avodah B'Yus V'Sadam. They're both up and down. Right. Am I right? The avodah is up, but then HaKadosh Baruch Hu responds.
Right. We're starting a circle going up. He's starting a circle going up.
And the Torah is down, but we respond by doing kind of Torah.
No, by avoiding Milos Chassadim, by doing
I
Maisa.
lost my job, so I doing stuff like
No, there's two different functions. There's two different functions here. There's what HaKadosh Baruch Hu is starting and what we're starting. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Bechira Chavshis, he leaves with us. So we're the transformers that turn this into bracha.
What are all of us?
We're running the first.